I am Jacqueline Rambo, sewing instructor here in Houston, Texas. I am giving in-person sewing classes starting June 14th. This is going to be 4 classes, 2 hours each class. I'm going to teach you 20 skills to get you up and running with the sewing machine. You're going to be very familiar with the sewing machine by the end of the course. We're going to complete 3 projects that's going to introduce those 20 different skills to you. So when you leave my course, you should be able to complete small projects on your own. I hope to see you in class. This is going to be so much fun. It's always a good thing to learn a new craft. Don't let the art of sewing die. Just because the fabric stores seem like they're closing all around us, there are other fabric stores that we can continue this great art with. I hope to see you in class.
Hey, good evening, guys. How are you? How are you? So, today, this evening, I'm going to share with you some helpful books that I use on my sewing journey, that I still use on my sewing journey. So, I'm going to share the books with you as well as a Black female owned sewing magazine that I subscribe to, and one online resource that I use as well. So let's get into the books. The books that I purchase come from secondhand stores, like Half Price Bookstore, and I also purchase books from thriftedbooks.com. So those two places you can find these books. They are still available on that website. I haven't been into Half Price Bookstore in a while, but I'm pretty sure you can still find these books in that store as well. So the first book is The Complete Sewing Guide. I use this book when I want to reference to different hand stitching techniques. If I need help with fixing a collar, fixing a waistband, like this book has everything in it. Now, this book is 500 pages, so don't let that deter you from getting the book. I would say read the first 3 chapters of the book because that's like beginner level stuff that you will need to know to start your journey on sewing. But the rest of the book, you can read through that too, or just use the index of the back of the book and pick out what you need, go look at it, reference. This is a book of reference. The next book, any book by Nancy Nancy Zimmerman, any book by her is a good book. She has quite a few books on the market. Now she is deceased, but her family keeps her books on the shelf and available to our industry, our craft. She is really good in explaining things. You can even find some of her older videos on YouTube where she's telling you how to master different techniques. I think back in the 80s, she was a big like mogul for the sewing community. She had a segment on PBS that came on, I think, not if it was every day or every Saturday, her segment came on and she talked about sewing and how to do things. And some of my mentors talk about watching her shows back in the 80s. So she's very, very popular. This is the next 2 books are books that my mentor told me to get that would be a good good books for me to have in my collection. And this is by Singer. It's called Clothing Care and Repair. It's by Singer. It tells you how to get stains, how to get clothes, how to repair zippers, how to repair holes in your clothes. It even tells you how to upcycle your clothes if you want to change something into something else. It gives you ideas on that. It has a lot of hand sewing techniques. People think they don't need to know hand sewing, but you do, even though you own a sewing machine, because at some point you're going to have to hand stitch something. So it has hand stitching uh techniques in here. And I just remember one other book I was supposed to get, but I'll just tell you about it. This is Sewing Essentials by Singer. This one explains a lot of the same things about repairing clothes, how to put garments together, how to use the tools in sewing, like a seam guide, seam ripper, how to measure correctly. Um, this tells you how to use the parts of the sewing machine. Of course, they're going to tell you how to use a Singer sewing machine, but it's still the same thing. Like, there's no difference really between these machines other than the brand and what different machines can do. That's it. Now, I am a curvy woman, and so if you have ever looked at a commercial pattern, and if you know what I'm talking about, this is a commercial pattern. We have Butterick, Simplicity, New Look, um, Butterick, Simplicity, New Look. We have Know Me Now, and Vogue. Those are the commercial patterns. And these patterns don't fit a curvy woman like myself. And so most of the commercial patterns out of the package do not fit anybody's body size. You have to do some type of alteration to it. And so this book helps me get the fit that I need for my garments. This talks about blouses, pants, skirts, like anything you might need to make an adjustment to is in this book, as well as how to do the adjustment. And what I like about this book is they have all of the diagrams in here, pictures telling you what to do, things like that. So this is a really good book if you're going to be using commercial patterns, if you're going to be using any type of pattern to sew from, make clothes from. There is another book. It's called Savvy Fabric. I think it's by Sandra Van Zing. That book is a really good book. It explains all fabric to you, from woven fabric to stretch wool. It also tells you how to care for the fabric. It teaches you what needles to use, because you do have to use different needles in your sewing machine for different fabrics. It tells you how to care for the fabric, how to wash it, whether it needs to be dry cleaned, whether it needs to be washed and hung to dry, washed in cold water, washed in warm water. You even have some fabrics that need to be washed in hot water. Some fabrics that need to be washed by hand, not touch a washing machine at all. Like, that book has all that information in it. I don't have it with me. I might be able to post a picture of it after this video. Okay. The last thing is an online reference that I use sometimes. And I know you have seen this commercial somewhere online, right? They're really big online with their commercials. And it's Crafty, crafty.com. I love Crafty. Okay. I lay at night in the bed on my laptop watching Crafty. I'm always learning some type of new skill. You have a lot of women on there that teach sewing classes that have been in the industry 40 and 50 years. So Crafty is a good resource to use for sewing. They also have some beginner sewing classes on there as well. So, if you can't make it to my class, you might want to try Crafty and see if those videos can help you. I'm an in-person type person. I need that interactions, but some people can just do it from video. But Crafty is a really good resource as well. So the next thing I want to tell you about is a magazine, and it's called Sewn Magazine. SEWN magazine. This magazine is I forgot her name. Michelle Morris. Michelle Morris is the owner of this magazine. And she is a Black female. She does this magazine. One issue every other month. So you have like January, skip February, then you get an issue in March. You get an issue in March, skip April, then you issue in May. So that's how she does 6 issues a year. and the magazine is $1.99. Not $1.99, girl. The magazine is $21.99. $21.99. And you can go to Sewn, SEWN magazine.com and order the magazine, right? And it depends on, what issue it is. You might have to wait a little while to get the magazine because she does them every other month, but you will receive the magazine. But it has all Black designers in it. Some people I have seen on YouTube, some people I have met in person. It's a really, really nice book. Um, I have done a video in the past about frock tails, and so a lot of the frock tails she actually goes to meet these people, and then of course she ended up doing interviews with them and highlighting them in her magazine. But this is a really good magazine for to get to know all Black designers. Um, I think that is it. Those are all the books that I wanted to share with you guys tonight. If you have any questions about any of the books that I have shared, of course you can always contact me. We are getting close to the time of cutoff for my class. I think we have like 2 seats left in the class. So if you are interested in my class, my beginner sewing level class that starts June 14th, you can go to JacquelineRambo.com, find out the information there about the class. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. I thank you guys for watching this video. Please share this video with your friends and family. Go ahead and follow me. You know you want to. Make sure you are paying attention to my shorts on YouTube and my reels on Facebook and Instagram. All right. I thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next week with something else related to sewing because that's just what I do.